You don't know the power of the dark side.
But you know, happiness can be found even in the darkest of time. If one only remembers to turn on the light.
The beacons have been city! The beacons are lit!
Night gathers, and now my watch begins. It shall not end until my death.
Remember it well, then. This night.
For in those memories, we live on.
Do not cite the deep magic to me, witch.
I was there when it was written.
Call the banners.
All of them, my lord.
They've all sworn to defend my father, have they not?
They have.
Now we'll see what the words are worth.
But take heart. Look around you. You're not in this fight alone. We face our enemy together. And together, we will defeat them.
By all that you hold dear on this good earth, I bid you stand! Men of the West!
What's up, everybody? As you can see, I am flying solo tonight. I figured I would do this, to get a little experience of doing solo streams, rely less on other people, and just kind of relax and have fun. Before we dive into it, I kind of want to talk about what this is going to look like going forward. So I want to start doing some more solo streams. So I think I am going to. I'm trying to do something while I do this as well. I'm going to start doing a solo stream on whatever night. I haven't decided what night yet. I want the Witan to remain like a fun group thing that, my friends and I get together and talk about, the annoying shit and things like that, and the good things that we've seen in entertainment. Beyond that, I'm hoping that to start rolling out more stuff, whether it be more video game streams or more videos. I know it's been, I think, 12 days now since I've done a video. Hoping to get that to change. There just hasn't been anything that I have been interested in enough to put that work in that I haven't already talked about on the Witan. So like last week, we spent a bunch of time talking about the Sweet Baby Ink stuff, and we're going to talk even more about it tonight. But talking about it on the Witan and then doing a video on it, that's just, while it's not hard work, it's still, it's still work, and it's still annoying to do when you feel like you're just repeating yourself. That's kind of the plan right now. Hopefully it works. Okay, and just finished making something. Hang on, let me load that back into StreamYards, because wouldn't you believe it, I was not prepared. I had to move. I don't know why my green screen stuff. Like, you see that I'm like coming in and out. My chair is coming in and out. It's messed up. I don't know why, but it's stupid. Okay, so let's talk about this. We've got a little bit of small little stories first before we actually delve into this whole Gamergate 2.0 thing. And the first comes from, what's the name of that account? Culture Crave. I need to pull the tweet up real quick. But so we got a couple things from Culture Crave. The first is, I'm sorry. I really fucked up. First off, let me say hi to the chat. Purist is in town. Gatekeepers Daimyo, Real Wade Nation. Maria, I hope you're doing well, and I hope you're getting better. What's up, Matcheween? Maria said, can't stay long. Have a 6 p.m. meeting. Didn't land that contract. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, lower your bid. Go back in. Are you able to go back in and say, I'll actually do it for less? Or is it just, you just done? And Daimyo, let's not ban everyone tonight. I know you've probably got an itchy trigger finger, but let's not do that. I would prefer that. Thank you. So I did a video at the beginning of the year. What's up, Ryan? I did not see Dune. No, I'm not a Dune guy. I don't really get the praise and the enjoyment. I also really do not like Timothée Chalamet. I think Hollywood's trying to prop him up as this big action hero that I don't think he could even hold a candle to. Other people like Henry Cavill and Alan Richardson are doing right now. Are you saying Dune is gay, or are you calling me gay for not seeing it? But the first thing I want to talk about, I did a video back at the beginning of the year about the movies I was excited for that were coming out. One of them looks like it's not coming out. It was speculated at the beginning of the year and right near the end of last year that we were finally going to get National Treasure 3. Whoop. And obviously now that looks very unlikely. Nick Cage says there is no National Treasure 3. If you want to find treasure, don't look at Disney. It's not there. I can't say that I disagree with him. It's definitely not. See, Kendall says, I don't think Chalamet should be some action hero, but he's perfect for Paul. He's described in the book. Yeah, so I do know that. My brother's a huge Dune fan. He's not a big fan of the movies. He thinks that as adaptions, they did an okay job, but that they could have done better in different places. But he did say that, as a movie, the cinematic event, it was a 5 out of 5. So I'm glad he's able to enjoy something. He's kind of had some down years on entertainment. So I'm glad and honestly, I'm glad a lot of people have been able to enjoy Dune. I think we deserve that. I got to enjoy Top Gun Maverick, and a lot of people got to enjoy that. And there were a bunch of people that didn't like it. Well, I'm glad that everyone's enjoying Dune. I'm just not a Dune guy. But yeah, so I did love National Treasure. I love the first two. I think they're very good movies. Well, I'll change that. I think they're very fun movies. But I'm a huge history guy, and obviously, the history is suspect at best. But it's close enough that, yeah, Ryan, I get that. And that's one of the reasons why I think Reacher was such a big thing for me, and House of Dragon. It's nice to talk about something that you're not just sitting there crapping on. It's nice to be happy about something. And obviously, I'm expecting to be very happy in June, which is another thing we'll talk about. So obviously, I'm very disappointed in this. I'm disappointed that Disney and what's his name? Jerry. What is Bruckheimer? Yeah. I'm annoyed that Jerry Bruckheimer has not, tried to push this through. I feel like he could. I don't know. It just bugs me. And you've got a bunch of people that would go and see this movie. And I think if it was done correctly, and if, it could get the word of mouth and all that, I think it would be something that could work to help Disney Plus. So I don't understand. They'll spend millions of dollars making that really bad TV show for National Treasure, but they won't spend it to make the movie that people have been waiting for. What 17 years now? Is that 2007 when number 2 came out? So the first one came out in 2004. So yeah, 2007. Yeah, so they'll spend millions of dollars. They'll make a dumb thing that all lays around Elvis and his mother, who was a member of this like secret society of Native American women from the worst Native American tribes of all time. I mean, and that's the other thing that was annoying. They, in the whole show, their entire purpose seemed to be to change the history and the knowledge about the Aztecs. You know what? The Aztecs were terrible people. You want to sit there and say the Catholics were bad coming over and doing stuff in South America? The Aztecs pale in the Catholics pale in comparison to what the Aztecs would do. In one day, they killed 10,000 people, but sacrifice, not on a battlefield, sacrificing them to their gods so that they would have a fruitful bounty. Like, what the hell? You don't logic yourself around that. That's bullshit. And that's what they were trying to do. Maria said Jerry Bruckheimer lost a lot of leverage at Disney with Pirates, which I think was bullshit. So yeah, look, the first 3 Pirates movies are great. The first one is incredible. The second 2 are a little bit less, but they're still really good and really fun movies to watch. The fourth one was iffy. The fifth one was better than the fourth one. But I do think it's ridiculous. Jerry Bruckheimer helped produce and create Disney's most successful IP in-house. Pirates of the Caribbean is their most successful non-bought, non-animated IP they have. If you look at anything else that Disney's produced, and you can't take Avatar because Avatar is its own little thing. They bought Avatar with Fox, I believe. That's a good point, Matt Dwayne. We've had 7 Fast and Furious movies since the last National Treasure. But that's because they make money over in Asia. Yeah. So Fox, yeah. So they bought Avatar. They got it because they got Fox. So it's ridiculous to sit there and say, there's no money in IPs outside of these 2 or 3 that we own, because there is. People would go see National Treasure. People would go see a new Pirates movie if Johnny Depp's in it. So we're going to move on from this, unless the chat has anything to add. It was done with... Is FF4 Fast and Furious 4? Because I actually liked the first couple of Fast and Furious movies. Actually, I'll take that back. I've liked most of them. I've enjoyed them, is what I should say. So this, I like this. So I have some theories about this. Okay, so it was reported about a month ago, maybe 2, that one of the writers for the Batman 2, let me get his name again. Batman Part 2. Writers, let's see. That Mattson Tomlin. So it was reported a couple of months ago that Mattson Tomlin, who was who is a writer for the Batman 2. He was a credited writer for the first one. It was reported that he was going to be working on the Aegon the Conqueror script. So, seeing as how the script for the Batman 2 is not done, I would figure that the only reason this is getting pushed because they haven't finished the script. So, and I think they haven't finished the script because I think Mattson has left. I think Mattson's script for Aegon, I think HBO liked it. And I think they took him off the Batman 2, which, if that's true, would be huge. I think it would show that Warner knows where the real money right now is within their company, and it's with HBO and George R.R. Martin. It's not with DC. That DC hasn't put anything out. I know the Batman made like $1 billion, which is fine, but I feel like that shows less trust in the Batman 2 to actually ride the wave. Which, if we look at how the Joker Part 2 is doing, but yeah, so that's where we're at the moment. There was one other thing from Culture Crave that I saw that I did want to comment on, but I want to actually find the tweet. I don't want to just, scroll through everyone's Twitter and stuff like that. I do love that everyone's reporting about hang on. This Matchwin says this delay is good. DC needs time to focus on Superman and other gun projects. Get back in the groove. I agree. I think the best thing that DC could do right now is to put out Superman. You need to put out your flagship thing. And as popular as Batman is, in my opinion, Superman will always be superior. And they need to nail Superman. They need to get it out. They need to put it out and need to succeed before they can really think about trying to spread out and do other stuff. Felicity says the Penguin needs to come out first and get great acclaim. If that does not do well, they are dumping the Batman. The Batman only made less than 800. Did it not make $1 billion? Okay. I thought it made $1 billion. The Penguin, so that comes out at the end of the year, I believe. I talked about it in another video I did. Penguin, 2024. Does not, and it's a mini series, so they're not expecting it. They're not planning on doing more than just a season. I do not have a premiere date on this. I guess they haven't decided yet. It's unfortunate. Interesting cast, though. I don't really see Kristen Miliota. Is that how you say her name? As Falcone. She was the mom in How I Met Your Mother. Let's see. Purist says the Batman is overrated. Great beginning, great performance by Colin Farrell, but the third act is a mess. It got all kinds of SJW bullshit in it. So I don't really remember. Like, I watched it. I don't remember sitting there and being annoyed at all. So I'm not really going to comment on whether or not it has SJW stuff in it. It's been a while since I've seen it. So that does kind of tell me that there's probably some stuff that I don't remember. Let's see. Also, that was no Riddler. Yeah, I know. The Riddler's supposed to be much more of a fun guy than that. That was a... Oh my God, hang on. Oh, I got excited because I got a notification for something. Man of Steel made more than the Batman adjustments for inflation. Yeah, because I think Superman is more popular. And Maria, come on now. Superman Returns? Really? Oh, Maria. Come on. Now you're just making me sad. Okay, so one thing I did want to bring up. Okay. This right here. Okay. So, and this is one of the things that bugs me about a tweet like this. The House is set to vote tomorrow on TikTok being banned from all devices if ByteDance doesn't sell the company. They will have 165 days to sell TikTok if it's enacted. This tweet is deceptive. It makes it sound like if they vote tomorrow, yay, which they probably will, then in 165 days it has to be sold. But, and anyone can feel free to correct me in the chat, I don't believe this has gone through the Senate yet. TikTok ban. Yeah, so it hasn't even left the Senate. So I'm looking at Reuters, which is a pretty good, a lot of lawyers use Reuters. It's a pretty good news site. They charge a fucking arm and a leg for any books or technology you need. But yeah, I mean, the vote is expected around 10 a.m. tomorrow. Let's see. Wow, the entire House Energy and Commerce Committee last week voted 50-0 in support of the bill. That's kind of crazy to see a bill leave a full committee without any votes against. That's kind of crazy. But I'm enjoying the fact. Yeah, see, the fate of the legislation is uncertain in the U.S. Senate, where some senators want to take a different approach. Obviously, you got some people in there that want to keep it going. You've got a lot of people that made a lot of money off of TikTok that want it to, keep going in the hands that it's currently in. What is interesting about this, though, is I don't know if anyone saw, but a couple weeks ago, the president did say that if the bill passes, he will sign it. So I'm a little interested in that. I'm kind of surprised that he would sign this, especially when his campaign has spent so much money. Oh, I'm gonna get in trouble with YouTube for this probably. Fuck it. His campaign spent so much money hiring these influencers to keep young people impressed by him. So I'm surprised he'll sign that, but yeah. But yeah, I just want to talk about this tweet. Things like this annoy me. It's right up there with that Sierra Mist OnlyFans chick that spent months trying to claim that Pepsi changed the name Sierra Mist to Sunny or Sweetie or whatever it's called because she sued them, which is utter bullshit. That's not what happened. That's not how trademark works. She's a liar, and now she's trying to walk it back. Let me go back to the chat. Maria said, oh, no, first off, purist. Batman is more popular, but they're close. The last numbers I saw showed that Superman was more popular, but I don't know if I saw overall numbers from, beginning of time till now. But I think we can all agree that numbers included in the last, let's say, 5 to 10 years shouldn't count at all because none of those are Superman or Batman. Lois and Clark making a baby tickled me pink, and Kevin Spacey was a phenomenal Lex Luthor. No. Sorry. Nope. It was a terrible movie. In fact, there was only one really good point in that movie, and it's when Superman saves the plane, because it was a direct scene out of the Superman animated series. Spacey's a creep, but he's been great in a lot. He has. Spacey, yeah. Well, I can't say he's a creep because he was. Hang on. Was he? He was acquitted. So, if you believe in the rule of law, you have to believe in the outcomes. And he was acquitted of all 9 sexual offenses. And it's actually kind of more difficult to be acquitted over there than it is over here, because the defense has to prove their case. You don't have to do that over here. The plaintiff has to prove their case over here, or the prosecution. Let's see. I do believe in a sense of guilty, but his situations are really questionable. Nope. Maria. Yeah, I mean, Felicity, true. Yep. Due process is one of the most important clauses of our Constitution, and it pisses me the fuck off when it's not used correctly. Maria says she was pro Johnny, but there was no proof. So no, I mean, I don't know where you're getting 14. There were 9 charges in the UK. I do know that I think there were a couple charges over here that did not actually see the inside of a courthouse, so that is very different. And then, I mean, Kevin Spacey as John Doe in 7, iconic. It's a good role. I think his better role is, what's the character's name? I actually really liked Kevin Spacey in 21. I don't know if anyone remembers that movie, but it was that gambling movie where he played an MIT teacher who took math kids to Vegas, and they counted cards. It's a really good movie. If you haven't seen it, I highly suggest you watch it. But I thought Kevin Spacey in LA Confidential was really good. Now, I'm not a big fan of LA Confidential, but I think he did a very good job in it. LA Confidential, I feel like, is a hard movie to sit through and watch. And yeah, Felicity, I get that. Judging him on my personal intuition, that's it. It's hard not to do that. Boom! Told you, man. 600 million to Batman's 460. Yep. Okay. I don't know what the other 5 charges were. I mean, if they're, I more was talking about the whole sexual assault stuff. What's in the box? Can't stick around. Just want to say hi and drop a like. Well, Pilgrim, I appreciate you being here. Thank you very much. It means a lot, and I hope everything's going well at home. Okay. Well, I've beaten around the bush enough. I think it's time to get into this shit. This is going to be a fun conversation. So here we go. Gamergate 2.0. So this is what I think is bullshit about all of this. Both times we've dealt with this whole Gamergate shit, the media and the companies have used their power of the press and everything to change what everything is actually about. So if anyone remembers, and if you disagree with me, please let me know in the chat and I will discuss it with you. If you remember, Gamergate 1.0 all started because there was a game I don't remember if it was a writer or a CEO of a studio or what, but there was someone in the gaming industry that was having sex with journalists for good reviews. That's the basics of the whole thing. And they got caught. She got caught, and people started complaining about the fact that her games were getting good reviews, and there was no actual legitimacy to these reviews. That's a good thing to be upset about. You're going out of your way to have your games presented as good or exceptional, and you're making money off the fact that you're just a sleazeball. And so people got upset about that, as they should. And then the media, and hang on a second. The media and these companies decided to change what people were upset about. And they decided to make it all about sex, gender, and sex, saying that we as male gamers were upset that women were in the industry, which is bullshit. Never given two shits what was in between someone's legs that was making a game. Doesn't matter. Make a good game. That's all I care about. And that's what the whole thing became about. You've got that you got that meme that I think summed up the entire thing very well. And hang on. Yeah, this one. Thank you. Know your meme. That is very helpful. So you had this, and it still goes around several times. This is why I hate video games. It appeals to the male fantasy. And this stuff became what Gamergate was. That was all about, Lara Croft has big tits. Now she doesn't. Fuck that. We hate that. Bullshit. They went after, what was it, Bayonetta, because she's got a big ass or something. I don't know. I didn't play Bayonetta. I know they went after Mortal Kombat and all these other games that had female characters. One of the big things was also in what's it called? Mass Effect. So there are several favorable shots of some of the female heroes or female companions in Mass Effect that people complained about and were taken out of the Legendary Edition because of these complaints. And it was tied to Gamergate because of the media's push about what it actually became. So now we have Gamergate 2.0. We get this company that starts getting themselves hired through whether or not you want to agree that it was through threats or through making the, what were they called? What's the press team? The press department, whatever it's called. Fuck it. Whether it's through threats, whether it's through, taking the press team out to dinner and saying, hey, if you don't let our stuff in, we're going to make you lose money. Whether it was any of that stuff. We know that she's done it before because she talked about how she's done it. And she started a company to do it, Sweet Baby Inc. And PR marketing. Thank you, Felicity. Yes. Wow, you want to talk about a fucking brain fart. So yeah, whether or not it's taking the marketing team out to coffee and saying, if you don't include our DEI or our black character, or our gay character, or our crippled character, then we're going to start making it uncomfortable for you. We're going to let people on Twitter get at you. They are, and so this is what I think is interesting. So she worked at Ubisoft on Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Well, after Valhalla launched, there were a bunch of reports from insiders at Ubisoft that there were a bunch of officers. Well, I don't know if they were CEO levels, but they were officers in the company that were getting threats, and writers and people and coders, whatever, inside the company were trying to get these people fired because of decisions they made on Odyssey. And one of the decisions that they made on Odyssey that these people really hated was they allowed Alexios to be playable. So had they not done that, then Cassandra, who is the female character voiced by Jennifer Hale, I believe, would have been the only playable character, and it would have been the first female protagonist in Assassin's Creed. It would have been the first time that you only played as a woman. Not a big issue with that, but once again, if you're going to make a game, if you're going to make a role-playing game, you need to present the player with the option to play as a male or a female, because it doesn't make sense to shoehorn the player into a certain experience. So when they decided to make Alexios a playable character and decided to give the player the option, a lot of these writers got upset because they were expecting the ability to do all this female empowerment stuff. Let's call it that. Sorry, I'm trying to find out if she did voice Cassandra. I think I'm off on that. It might not have been Jennifer Hale, which surprises me because Jennifer Hale voices just about every other female because she's fucking awesome. Yep, doesn't look like it. Oh well, doesn't matter. Where was I? Oh yeah, and so it wouldn't surprise me at all if this Sweet Baby Ink chick was behind this uprising at Ubisoft. So she leaves, she starts Sweet Baby Ink, and they start contacting companies. They've dealt with Xbox Game Studios, EA, Valve, Santa Monica Studio, 2K, Ubisoft, Square Enix, Warner Brothers. Basically, the biggest companies in video games. And you can go to their website and see what they've done on the different games. On some of their different games. And I'll show it here. I showed it the other day. I think last week on the Witan. But yeah, you can see here. So Sable worked on writing and character voice. Okay. And this is one of the things that bugs me. Okay, so they worked on writing on Sable. Narrative design consultation. To me, that means writing. Alan Wake, character arc, writing. Voice and sensitivity reading. Ragnarok, narrative and character consultation, writing. Narrative direction, writing. Goodbye Volcano High, narrative direct, writing. Writing. Story content, writing. Script writing, writing. Full game development, so writing. We worked on story development, writing. And the Crew Motor Fest, again, a game where you play as a person driving cars, proofreading and additional writing. So they're really a consultation company to help you write your video game. Why are these studios making games if they can't write a fucking game? Like that's like step one, write the game. When you go to write a book, you don't hire someone to write the book for you unless you're a fucking politician. You just write the damn book. You think George has a ghostwriter? You think George is sitting there? You think Tolkien paid someone to write his books? C.S. Lewis, James Patterson, Lee Child? They write the book. Why can't these studios write the story? That bugs me. So you get this company that basically believes that men shouldn't be strong, that women shouldn't be good to look at. You already saw the downgrade in Mary Jane from Spider-Man 1 to Spider-Man 2. You saw the downgrade in Harley Quinn and Suicide Squad. I don't really know anything else about any of these games. I bet you the females in the crew look ugly. So you've got all these games that, I mean, for the most part, are supposed to have attractive women in it because it's a visual thing. You want to have fun looking at what you're playing. So you get this company that comes in and says, no. She doesn't look real. She needs to look more like this person. And you can see the insertion as well. Go back and look at the lady that did Mary Jane. Looks just like her. Now, sure, I basically just called this lady ugly, but the video game character and yourself don't have to look alike. These self-inserts in video games is getting really annoying. I love how I'm talking in circles basically here. So, Gamergate, that's what we're talking about. Right. Sorry, I got distracted there. I went on a rant. So you get this company that comes in, they start rewriting the stuff, they start inserting their stuff, and they start removing the stuff that, for the most part, people wanted to see and wanted to play as. And then we find out about it. We get that thing on Steam, the Sweet Baby Ink Detector. And we get, there's apparently a Discord group and stuff like that. And so people start finding out about it and they start complaining about it. Well, what does Sweet Baby Ink do? They contact their people in the press and Kotaku and what's the other one? Polygon. And they start saying, and GameSpot's done it too. And they start saying, y'all need to change the story. Y'all need to do it again. Gamergate2.0, make it about them. Make it about how they're harassing us for just doing a job. We were hired to do a job. We're being paid to do something, and they're harassing us about it. Which is why you saw the article the other day that came out that said, why is Valve and Discord allowing a bunch of men to harass these women? They're not allowing anything. These groups are playing by the terms of service. They're doing everything well within the rule book. No one's threatening them. No one's doing what the what was her name? Purist. Do you remember her name? Or Felicity, you might. The one that said you can't be racist towards white people. Justina Ireland, is that her? No, not her. Some white chick from a company. She's not the High Republic lady. I don't remember. It's not that important. It's just that, yeah. So what this lady has basically done is gone into the group. She got into the group and it's basically trying to find out who they are. She gets in there, and one of the things she says is there a reason that most of y'all don't have your names or faces attached to your accounts? Yeah, because it's the way the fucking internet works. For a year on my channel, I didn't go on camera because there are fucking weird people out there. No, it's not Sam Maggs either. I'll tell you what, if I go on Twitter, I can probably find it. You can't be racist towards white people. If I could spell correctly. Media. I don't know. I mean, her name's not that important. Oh, this might be it. Yeah, no, I can't find it. Oh well, it's really not that important. But yeah, so that's what that's what's happening here now. You've got a company like Kotaku and Polygon, which yeah, they're dying. People aren't reading their stuff. They've realized that at best they're a propaganda machine, and at worst they're actively fighting against the thing that they're supposed to enjoy. And the sorry, I saw Chinese Communist Party trending on Twitter. I got scared for a second. Yeah, and at worst, they're actively fighting against the thing that they're supposed to love, and that we love. I mean, look at how crap some games have become over the last 5 years. There has been three games that have come out in the last 5 years that I've been like day one bought. Let's go, absolutely. Hogwarts Legacy, Red Dead 2, and see, this is the other thing. I would have to pull up Steam to actually look. I wouldn't know off the top of my head the other one. I don't know. It's probably on my Xbox. Felicity says, a lot of people say that BS now. I'm black and live in the South. I've never experienced the racism that's claimed to exist now. It is absolutely crazy. I've also grown up in the South my entire life, and I have seen people be racist, but I have never seen someone exhibit the kind of racism that people say exists here in the South. Daimyo popping in. What's up, dude? Are you still driving, dude? Not literally you, but are y'all still driving down? I think I'm going to replay Red Dead 2 soon. I am also going to, but as soon as it goes on sale, because I don't want to pay $60. I already bought, I already paid $90 when it came out. I don't want to pay another $60 just to play on my computer. Yeah. I'm curious to see what he says about whether or not they're still driving. He's finally gotten the fuck out of California, guys. How about a round of applause? You know what? I think that deserves this. We're not leaving, but because he's finally gotten the fuck out of that commie state, I think he deserves a round of applause. I'm so happy for you, dude. Let's see. No more poop in the street. Good deal. Yep. He's well, see, the problem is he was running out of toilet paper. So that's why he had to start doing it. Let's see. Okay. I think that's pretty much wraps up what I wanted to talk about with Gamergate 2.0. Let's see. Just crossed the border into AZ. I officially said goodbye to Pride of Florida. They even changed the pride flag on I'm gonna guess YouTube. Congrats, Daimyo. On a slightly negative note, ICE was offering $500 reward for turning over illegals, and I gave them your info. Enjoy. I'm gonna assume you meant Guatemala. You did type Guatemala, but part of me thinks you meant Guantanamo. So we'll find out. Stay tuned. Let's see. Matt Dewey says Tennessee's full. Go back to Cali. Yep, that's a pretty fucking funny thing. So I did see something. I know Justin is going to. Yeah, I mean, you did say it, Sundowners. You did correctly say Guatemala. I just kind of thought you might have meant Guantanamo. Oh, I know it is. Have you met Have you met Daimyo Purist? Capital T word right there. So Purist, this is for you. Okay. Go ahead and start typing. I think you know what I'm getting ready to pull up. Start typing, and I want to find out your entire thoughts behind this. Marvel shocker. X-Men 97 creator Bo DeMaio fired weeks before premiere. In an unusual situation on the eve of a project's debut, the writer-producer who worked on Moon Knight and Blade will no longer be promoting the show or moving forward with future seasons. Now, is this Blade the new Marvel thing that they're working on that's been like through production hell for the last 3 years? Because if so, this could actually be a good thing. Earlier this month, Bo DeMaio was in the midst of a particularly busy time at Marvel Studios. The writer-producer was preparing for the launch of X-Men 97, the Disney Plus series he created as a continuation of the beloved 90s Fox Kids show. I'll give my full thoughts tomorrow night, but this in a nutshell is the Bob Chapek of X-Men 97. He's the fall guy. But shouldn't he be fired after it fails? Like, I feel like they missed a step here. They waited. They didn't wait long enough. The fall guy has to be fired after the thing comes out, so that we know they're firing him because of that. If they fire him now, then clearly they're expecting it to fail, which just says they expect it to fail, which is a terrible thing to tell people. Like, I mean, if Ryan Condal got fired tomorrow from House of the Dragon, knock on wood, then we would all expect season 2 to be shit. So I feel like this is a dumb thing to do. What a cool little Lego set right there. Really cool. DeMaio, a Marvel regular who previously wrote a live-action series, Moon Knight. Okay, a regular. That you can't be a regular if you've only done one thing. As well as early drafts of the company's delayed but still upcoming vampire thriller Blade. Delayed. Never going to happen. Had completed writing duties on season 2 of X-Men 97. Was lining up press and making plans to attend the show's Hollywood premiere on March 13th. This is another problem. Okay, it's a drop in the bucket. A premiere probably does not cost a studio a lot of money comparatively to a movie production. Like, if a movie costs $200 million, a premiere probably costs what, $2 million, $1 million. It all just depends on what you need for that premiere. How much you have to shut down roads, shit like that. So why are they having a premiere for an animated TV show? I get that 90 was it wasn't X-Men 90. What was it, 92? I can't remember. I get that is a incredible TV show. I loved the TV show. I thought it was great. I get that people love it and that this should theoretically be a big thing for Disney Plus. It's not, because we know why. But why are you having a premiere? You're just wasting money. You need your back scratched and your taint licked that badly? It's fucking dumb. It's like, why did they release several episodes of Ahsoka and Mando 3 in theaters? That's dumb. You're not going to make money off of that. Stop doing it. I tell you what it's starting to look like. It starting to look like money laundering. FBI might want to look into Disney's books. Okay, let's see what the chat said. Pure said, or right before that, Senator says Bo got let go from Blade rewrites last year. Okay. Pure said they've seen the backlash. They know it's going to fail. The news cycle in our circle is about a month or two ago was that Disney Marvel is listening to the fans. If that was the case, the series would have been delayed, rewritten, and modified. They also would have used the OG showrunners to create the show, as well as using their best artists and writers for the show in the prequel comic. And then Felicity said, that is what these guys who take these jobs need to realize. They are all fall guys. Yep. Michael Green completely rewrote Blade. Ooh. It's a good point. I'm sure the possibility of laundering is the reason why Iger is fighting Peltz and his buddies so much he'll get found out. And that's what's so crazy about this. Look, these things they're making don't cost as much as they're paying. It does not cost $240 million to do Ahsoka. It doesn't do that. It doesn't. How do I know that? Because Godzilla -1 cost 12. Well, Godzilla was a puppet. I don't know if he was. I'm going to assume he was. And they use miniatures and shit like that. Yeah, okay. You don't have to use Star Wars used miniatures. Star Wars used matte painting, most of which still holds up. There's obviously, there's some stuff that doesn't hold up in Star Wars. There's a couple of shots in Lord of the Rings that don't hold up anymore, but they are the extreme minority. Like probably 1% of Lord of the Rings doesn't hold up on current gen TVs and stuff like that. That's why they did the 4K things. But the problem with 4K is because it's a clearer picture, you get things like you can see the person's face in the little black mask thing they wear as ring wraith. You can see, through the little dots. Back to this. It was surprising turn of events on the eve of the show. See, not even correct grammar here. It was a surprising turn of events on the eve of the show's March 20th debut. Splitting with writers is a normal part of business for Marvel or any studio. I don't think that's true. I think Marvel and Disney Studios in a whole have a long history of splitting from writers and directors more than I think any other studio, even Lucasfilm. Most Marvel premieres feature multiple screenwriters walking the red carpet, some of whom had been rewritten by other writers also walking the carpet. That's kind of funny. And yeah, Purist, you're right there. Or She-Hulk. Fuck that show. The updated Blade's going to be shit. It's going to be absolutely terrible. I mean, I have never been a big Blade guy. I've seen, I think, the first two. I don't even think I ever saw Blade Trinity. But it's going to be absolute dog shit. It's because they don't understand what Blade is. It's kind of like, it is a little surprising how good John Barenthal and Netflix did with The Punisher. Because I would argue most people don't understand The Punisher either. Same with Jessica Jones, Daredevil. I mean, they kind of fucked up with Iron Fist. I'm sure purists will agree with me on that. I liked the Iron Fist show. I did enjoy it. But that was not Iron Fist. They also kind of fucked up with Luke Cage because Luke Cage and Iron Fist are greedy money people. They help you and then they force you to pay them, which I always thought was kind of a funny thing for superheroes to do. Let's see. Don't really. His silence on social media has been acute as he was a prolific poster, sharing X-Men tidbits as well as shirtless pictures of himself at the gym. Okay. For a time, he also ran a non-explicit OnlyFans account, all of which inspired the LGBTQ publication Out to declare him the sexy gay Marvel writer and showrunner to know. Is he gay? Why does that matter? First season of Iron Fist is fine. The actor is annoying. Second season, full woke. I don't think I agree with that. I it's been a while, okay? So I can't really speak to it, but I've been red pilled for a while, if we're still using that term. And none of Iron Fist annoyed me. Like I enjoyed. I definitely thought it was dumb when he gave up the power to, I believe, her, and then comes back with two guns that have the power in them. That was pretty fucking dumb. For real, I was looking forward to a Misty Knight and Colin Wing show. Michael Green is a pretty good writer. Logan, Blade Runner 2049, Blue-Eyed Samurai. I haven't seen any of those movies, which is going to trigger everyone here. I never saw Logan. Never saw it. I didn't want to see Wolverine die. Wait for it. Everyone's going to. I'm going to lose all my viewers and my sub count's going to drop. See, Iron Fist isn't a whiny bitch in the comics. I can't say I saved shitloads of Iron Fist comics, but he didn't act that way in the comics I ever read. Yeah, and he doesn't act that way. Like a really good. I know, Felicity. I know. I didn't want to see Wolverine die. I knew he died at the end. I don't like when my heroes die. I think it's kind of a cheap shot. Purist, and again, you'll correct me if I'm wrong about this, or if you disagree. But if you want to understand a hero or a villain, a really good way of understanding them is go back and play the early 2000 games. Ultimate Alliance Avengers Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2. The writing is spectacular in them, and they do a very good job of explaining what the heroes are like and their percollections and kind of how they act. They do a very good job of getting it. Let's see. Ooh, okay. One thing I do want to talk about. Okay, so we've seen a lot of stuff about Jake Lloyd come out in the last couple of days. If you don't remember, which should shock me for everyone on here, Jake Lloyd played young Anakin Skywalker. And one of the things that really bugs me about Star Wars fans, stuff like that, is the hate they put on Jake Lloyd for being an actor, for being a 9-year-old kid trying to do Anakin. Now, it is 100% true that the crap that got dumped on Jake Lloyd was, for the most part, media-driven. There was very little fan attacking of Jake Lloyd. There were fans saying to other fans, it was really dumb for Anakin to be a kid. But those fans were not calling Jake. They weren't writing letters to Jake saying, you're terrible, fuck you. It's very much like the Ahmed Best stuff. Fans were saying to each other, oh, Jar Jar Binks is dumb, or it's really silly for that character to do this, shit like that. But they weren't calling up Ahmed Best saying, I hope you kill yourself. Ooh, I don't know if I should have said that. Fuck it. We're an hour in. So it's bullshit to that this revisionist, like Pyrrha says, this revisionist history has become a thing. One of the things that I saw for the first time yesterday, actually this afternoon, was a letter from Ron Howard, one of my favorite directors and one of my favorite young actors. Because if you don't remember, Ron Howard played not only what's his name in Happy Days, but he also played holy shit, Kayla, what the hell is wrong with you today? Opie. He also played Opie in the Andy Griffith Show, one of my favorite TV shows of all time. And I think people should rewatch now, and there are a lot of life lessons in that show that I think would make people better people today. But he wrote a letter to Newsweek because Newsweek had written an article basically dumping on Jake Lloyd. And I wanted to see if I could find the Newsweek article before I read the letter, but I have not been able to find it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this Unilad article. And hope that it gives, a fair impression of the article. So the article was published in the run-up to Star Wars prequel's release, one of the most hotly anticipated movies of the time, obviously. It was published before the film's release and was responding to the trailer, with a few short sections on the various aspects of the movie and its production. So here's the trailer.
Don't throw that in the trash.
Don't you love ads? Aren't ads just beautiful? Let's see what the chat has to say. Sundowner said there wasn't even social media back then with Jake. He was a kid pushed into show business by his parents and developmental illness. Dude, he's got a fucking schizophrenia. He was in prison here in South Carolina for like the last, I think 7 years. He was in a mental institution here in, I think, the upstate of South Carolina for 7 years. Okay, here we go. Here's the trailer. Real quick, don't you miss when a Star Wars thing would pop up and you didn't see Disney? Scott, I just died a little bit reading Sundowner's thing. Ooh, I'm getting a little chills. Oh, this music might strike me, actually.
You refer to the prophecy of the one who will bring balance to the Force. You believe it's this boy?
He can see things before they happen.
He can help you.
The Force is unusually strong with him.
He was meant to help you.
Anakin! Tell him to take off!
Will I ever see you again? What does your heart tell you?
Are you sure about this? Trusting our fate to a boy we hardly know?
Anakin Skywalker, meet Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I sense much fear in you.
The boy is dangerous. They all sense it. Why can't you?
Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
So that was the trailer. And I played that for a reason, because that is what they were reacting to. Basically, they were writing this article based off of the trailer and apparently some insider info. And they just trashed the kid. They talk about how he can't act, how he doesn't know how to do this. They were taking pot shots at Lloyd, calling it, let's see. Nope, that's about what what Ron Howard said. They called him Mannequin Skywalker. So Ron Howard wrote this letter. I'm going to read this letter. Dear Miss Cooper, while your Buzz Wars episode's One Piece was generally snide and insipid, ooh, there's a quarter word for you. The pot shot at 9-year-old Jake Lloyd was downright irresponsible. The piece cites unnamed insiders who are critical of this 9-year-old's performance. I have no way of knowing how accomplished or professional he may have appeared during the principal filming, but I seriously doubt these, quote, insiders are inside enough to have seen an edited version of the new Star Wars, because I have, and in my opinion, Jake Lloyd is terrific in the film, which, by the way, is truly amazing. Movies are subject to public scrutiny, yes, but for Newsweek to attack a child's performance based on rumor and without even having seen the movie is shameful. As someone who has acted professionally at an early age, I can assure you that 9-year-old Jake is quite capable of reading, understanding, and feeling the full humiliation of a piece like that. He may not be able to comprehend the reason that it was printed, however, but then obviously neither can I. Maybe someone from your editorial staff should try and explain it to him. Sincerely, Ron Howard. Let's quit that. So I saw that, and I love that, because what you've got here is you've got a guy who in 1999 has, already directed, let's see, Apollo 13, which fucking hell, incredible movie. And it's basically, at least in my opinion, probably at the top of his directorial, what would you call it? Career, his directorial career at that time, and is just beating the shit out of Newsweek on that. And I loved it, because Newsweek, and we still see it today with a bunch of other magazines and websites that take pot shots at actors and writers and fans. We see a lot against fans for really no reason. And I love seeing Ron Howard here stick up for Jake Lloyd. But I bring up Jake Lloyd because we did get to see that, he's out of the facility. He's back home with his mom. Yes, he apparently likes Ahsoka, but to be fair, he's got something wrong with him. So what does that say? Let's see. Let's get back to the chat. First off, Sundowners, I know that you needed to learn a lot when you were a kid, and I'm sure Showgirls helped you understand women. I don't know how, because that's a terrible movie. But I am very happy to know that you got some lessons from Showgirls. But your next point is complete dog shit and hot dog water. That's bullshit. Felicity, Jake was genetically predisposed for schizophrenia. The show business thing was probably a way for the parents to occupy their kid. Yeah, I mean, wouldn't surprise me. The prequel trilogy, revisionist history, is media and Hollywood elitist driven. You could also throw in the Return of the Jedi, the Phantom Menace, George Lucas, Ewok hating, George needed Gary Kurtz, Marcia saved Star Wars as third editor crowd. So I get what most of these are, purist. What do you mean when you say you can throw in the... Never mind, I got it. Never mind. Yep. Hashtag fake fans. Revenge of the Sith is the best Star Wars trailer ever. Let's see. He's also a shill. His mom just said he loves all Star Wars, even the new ones, and she got him an Ahsoka figure for his birthday. Once again, I'm not going to bully Jake Lloyd. I think enough people have been bullying Jake Lloyd. But all I'm going to say is he was locked in a mental institution. So I think that says more about Disney Star Wars than it does about him. Just saying. Philistine, yeah, damn, did Yoda really look that bad? He did. He 100% did. I don't know if like the new additions or shit make him look better. It's been a little while since I've seen Phantom Menace, but he did. Ron Howard is a class act. I don't believe Ron Howard likes everything. And Deadspin, yes. So Deadspin is gone. Look at that. Okay, let's I just thought about this. I wish I had a fucking list. Okay, we're gonna do this together, guys. Not that everything else I've done tonight hasn't been with everyone else. Let's try to count all of the left-leaning, fan-hating websites and things that have been closed, canceled, and sold off in the last 2 years. So we can start with G4, new G4. After that, Vice, now Deadspin. I know I just read something from them, but didn't something happen with the Unilad? Didn't they get sold from something? Let's see. Yeah, so in 2018, Unilad was bought out by LAD Bible. And then didn't something happen with LAD? Nope. They just, last year, they bought Lessons Learned in Life. Okay. There's other people too. Yeah. Kotaku's on last legs, 100%. I think Polygon. I'm a little surprised Polygon's still around. I think the only reason they're still around is because they do get some good breaking news every now and then. They had one article the other day that I was reading that I hadn't heard about it from anyone else. But then, of course, they come out with garbage like this. Why are you advertising fucking TurboTax? For some Helldivers 2 players, the fascist roleplay has gone too far. You know what? Let me have fucking fun. Stop being a bitch. All these outlets lost their venture capital and their crap can't sell. Oh my, I'm so happy you said that because that actually reminded me of something else I want to talk about. Okay, so we got an article about video games from somebody. Oh. A lot more than that. Are you kidding me? Some of y'all might know what I'm talking about. There was an article that showed basically where the money's coming from. And you know what? I think it was a Sweet Baby Inc. article. Hang on. Let's start with Gamergate 2.0. I don't know. I'll talk about it until I can figure out what it is. So this article basically talks about how what happened with Hollywood has now happened with the video game industry. So not only do you have these extremists who are now part of the companies, but you also have other extremist companies or left-leaning or, in some cases right-leaning, but we all know there's a lot more of the left-leaning ones that are now personally paying for some games. So as we saw, what used to happen in Hollywood is, Disney would go out and they'd call up a fund and they'd say, we want to help. We want you to finance a movie. We promise an 8% return. We'll do all this, yada yada. You'll get 1.5% of DVD sales, VHS sales, all that kind of stuff. Now Disney is paying for the movie themselves. So there's no one that actually cares about the money overseeing what's in the movie. So now when Disney makes a movie, all they have to do is make sure they like what's on screen. Well, as we know from the last 5 years, most of what Disney likes on screen, most of America does not like on screen. Also, most of Asia doesn't, most of Europe. Which is why they're losing probably about $200 million per movie they make, at least last year. And so now that's happening with video games. You get companies that are now completely paying for the game themselves instead of having to basically finance the game, which is what used to happen. But it's also because now for a major AAA game, it doesn't cost, $9 million to make it. It costs $200 million to make it, which is kind of bullshit. I mean, how do you pay $200 million for Call of Duty? They're just copy and paste games now. I don't understand how it costs that much. But once again, I bring up money laundering. Felicity, you got a list of the sweet. So you can, Purist, if you have Steam, you can follow the Sweet Baby Inc. Detected. Ooh, hang on. Is this still going? Groups. And I'm looking for the search. This is weird. So you used to be able to log into Steam on your computer, not on the app, but the website, and basically search for a group. I can't do that right now. Here we go. Yeah. Let me share my screen. Let me make sure there's nothing private on here. Nope. So here's a list of 16 games. Now I don't believe this is a full list because we have, from their website there we see games like the Crew Motor Fest, South of Midnight, Spider-Man 2 that we don't see on this list. But Tales of something. Oh, this is the really stupid game that's coming out. Okay, so if y'all watched my my Xbox Partners thing, you saw me react to that. It's a fucking dumb game. So we know that. Oh yeah, look at that. Used to be featured on SBI website, no longer featured. Gotham Knights, South of Midnight, Shadow Gambit, Dark Alliance. As you can see, it's not a lot of AAA games. It's a lot of AA and indie games. And it's because that's kind of where it starts. Now, the CEO or the co-founder of Sweet Baby Inc. is the one that worked on Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and that's what I was talking about earlier, about how she gets there and all of a sudden there's all these little uprisings at Ubisoft. But Bob Iger watches everything like 5 times before they put it out, right? If Bob Iger watches any of the stuff they put out and he agrees to that stuff, then he truly is the problem. But once again, I stand by what I've said for a long time, that the reason Disney went to shit is because Bob Iger wanted to be president. And the Democrats told him that he couldn't be president being the moderate that he was. So he decided to become super liberal by making Disney liberal. And he wanted to be like, look what I did to Disney. I can do it to every other company, make me president. And when he never even got more than like 1.5% of the vote, he just fucked off back to Disney and kept ruining it. Okay. Can't really think of, I didn't really have anything else planned to talk about. I don't know if anyone in the chat has anything they want to talk about. I'll give you a second or two to bring it up. Ooh, Amond is trending on Twitter. Huh. Not for any real fun reason. I was kind of hoping for some sort of leak, like maybe he tweeted something. But I guess because it was his birthday the other day. Dino, you did. Yeah, that was one of the first things I talked about. Obviously, I'm really upset about it. It bugs me because there were rumors and stuff going around at the beginning of the year and towards the end of last year that it was actually supposed to come out this year, that we were going to get a trailer early in the year and it was going to come out around Christmas. And it looks like that's not happening, which really bugs me because I think it would be, you could do National Treasure 3 for $60 million probably. And I think you could make $400 million off that movie. I think that'd be easy. But I mean, Felicity, that wouldn't surprise me. But I don't think it's a solidarity thing because as we saw the other day, apparently Johnny Depp's coming back. Apparently he's going to come back and play a small role in the new Pirates movie, which once again is bullshit because Pirates of the Caribbean needs Johnny Depp to play Jack Sparrow, because Pirates of the Caribbean is not a story about pirates. It's a story about Jack Sparrow. And when you sideline Jack Sparrow to create a feminist role or a female pirate or any bullshit like that, when you bring in a black woman to play a pirate named Anne, who is probably going to be fucking Anne Bonny, and you ruin the awesomeness that is the story of Anne Bonny by allowing people to sit there and say, oh, this movie's going to suck because of this. When you allow me to make a video that basically says you're race swapping a character, a historical character who we already know a lot about, well, some about, when you allow me to make that video, you do a disservice to yourself. If you could just make the fucking movie, put Anne Bonny in it, and have Jack Sparrow fall madly in love with the crazy woman that Anne Bonny was, that would be a fucking awesome movie. But no, you have to throw your DEI in it. This is the other thing that's bullshit about that. One of the reasons these DEI things have propped up in all these companies, all these movie companies, is because the award shows now have this. Pirates of the Caribbean is not going to win a fucking Oscar. It's just not. You don't have to follow the Academy's rules for Pirates of the Caribbean. It's not going to win an Oscar. It's just not. Maybe it wins sound editing or cinematography or original story script or anything like that. Maybe. But no one gives a shit about those Oscars. Maybe Daimyo does because he loves the talking about how like a movie, the cinematography about a movie or stuff like that. I'm kind of making fun of you here, Daimyo. But it's not an important Oscar. It's a reason a lot of those Oscars are given away during the commercial. Because no one gives a shit about them. You know what? There are 7 Oscars people give a shit about. Maybe 8. I kind of just counted quickly. Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Supporting, the 2 Best Supporting actor, Best Comedy, I think there's a drama one, movie, and director. 8 Oscars. There's the only ones anyone gives a shit about. Maybe song, if there's like a good song that year. But you tell me right now who won the Oscar for best cinematography in 2005. I don't know. I bet you I could pull up a list of movies from 2005 and know exactly who won the Oscar for best movie. It's bullshit. Stop ruining movies. It's the Academy's fault, and all these dumb studios followed suit. Yeah, everything you said about Jack Sparrow can be applied to National Treasure. 100%. Yeah, 100%. National Treasure is not going to win an Oscar. I don't even think it has a chance of winning one of the small Oscars that nobody gives a shit about. So why ruin it? And that's the other thing. Like, imagine if Disney could play both sides. Imagine if they could put out their, stupid female empowering movie, Barbie-esque type thing, make $1 billion, make $700 million, but then they could also put out their strong male superhero, superpowered leader movie and make another $700-800 million. Play both sides. Why not? No one pays attention. Most people don't pay attention, is what I should say. Let's see. Felicity said, "Are we sure it's not an AI version of Johnny Depp? They'd still have to pay him out of the ass for that, though." That would be pretty funny. Who won Best Actor in 2008? I don't know what movies came out in 2008. If the point I'm making is, you could look at movie, important. It goes hand in hand with the direction. I think we're going to disagree on this point, Daimyo. I think no, we're not. The point I'm making is that there are Oscars that people actually give a shit about, and there are Oscars that people don't give a shit about. I've never once thought, who won the Oscar for sound design? I've never thought about that. I know who won it in 2003 or 2004, but I only know that because I know they were nominated for it, and they got a clean sweep. So what I'm saying is, you've got movies that could win Oscars for these smaller things, but they don't need it. And so Disney is using the DEI checklist that the Academy has for everything across the board when they don't need to. They could easily use it for, the big movie that they want to do that year, that they want to be an Academy Award winner, that they want, and then go off and make a bunch of money doing the cool action movie that doesn't need, the disabled person that might be gay or lesbian and biracial. They don't need that. That's what I'm saying. But if you want to keep calling me insane, that's okay. I didn't say cinematography is not important. I said I don't give a shit about who wins the Oscar for cinematography. Okay, I've yelled enough tonight. Everyone, thank you so much for being here. Felicity, Daimyo, Purist, Sundowners, Grey Pilgrim, you popped in a little bit. Thank you. Maria, thank you very much. And Matthewine, if I missed anyone else, I apologize. I don't think I have. But I hope you all have a great weekend. Well, week. It is only Tuesday. I hope everyone has a great rest of the week. Daimyo, I hope you keep driving safely. I hope you get home safely. Well, to your new home. Thank you very much, guys. And gals. I don't want to be sexist.